Justin, my son, is going to talk about what he does best. And he's an executive, senior executive of a company called Ambition, which is an Australian company. I think, Francis Wong Yunati, you know what the company is. Headhunting, recruitment, and I think you've been doing it for what, 12 years now? 12 years? And he has matched a slew of candidates. You guys are candidates, potential candidates, with companies, clients, and he's done a lot of those. And he's going to share with you guys what qualities that you need when you are sitting in that room, talking to the interviewer. Okay, you're going to really exhibit yourself. You're going to really want to tell the guy, hey, I'm different, from the maddening crowd. I'm different, okay, in order to land that job. So he's going to talk about that. And after that, 20 to 25 minutes or so, our daughter, Andrea, sitting at the back there. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, she's busy making Christmas wreaths, okay? So we're going to have you guys, hover around the table at tea reception and seeing how Christmas wreath, how you make them, okay? It's only, 1 month away, Christmas. And the lucky two will actually get one of them, okay? I'm going to pick the two to get one of those, those freebies tonight, giving out. Actually cost how much money, Andrea? $600-700, right? If you have to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so this is it. Now, without further ado, I'm going to get Justin to come out to say a few words. Okay? All right, put your hands together for Justin Merrill.
When my dad mentioned that I'm going to share what I'm best at, I was a little worried because I wasn't prepared to share how best to procrastinate, because I'm really good at that. But in fact, what I'm about to share is, as my dad mentioned, some qualities actually of what qualities are needed to be successful in anyone's career. I'm aware of the audience today. There are some who have been working for a number of years, some who are still students who will be entering the workforce at some point in the future. So hopefully this topic addresses everyone. So I've been a recruitment consultant for the last 12 years. And for those of you who don't know what recruitment consultants do, we are matchmakers. We help employers find good talent. And we help candidates or job seekers find good career paths. So that's what we do in the middle, doing some matching. So over the last 12 years, I've had the pleasure of speaking to, tens of thousands of employees, job seekers, and hundreds of employers who are looking to find talent. And in the last 12 years, I've come to some sort of conclusion because I started noticing some patterns. When I'm looking at people who are successful in their careers, whatever profession they're in, I started to notice a couple of things that really stand out. So this is not, by no means, it is hard research or from research data. It's really from the last, 10 plus years or so of experience that I've gained and things that I've noticed. So please don't quote me as I share with you. So successful people, I want to have a little bit of a qualifier. When I say successful people, I really don't mean the top of class or the 0.001% of the population. What I see as successful, I think if you fall within the top 25% of any organization, I consider you guys pretty successful. So that's really the group that I'm talking about. The top 25%, they're happy, they're engaged in their work, they're successful, and they're good at what they do. So what three qualities do I believe that all of these people, successful people, have? To me, it's maturity, accountability, and coachability. So if you allow me to spend some time, I'm going to dive into each one and share a little bit more. So maturity, what is maturity? Well, the dictionary defines maturity as fully developed. Now, in order for anything to be fully developed, I believe, as all we know, time is needed. Okay, but you will also notice time alone won't lead to maturity. If you put some seeds in some soil, but if you put it in a dark room where there's no sunshine, no water, if you don't give it nutrients, in 100 years it will never grow. It will never reach maturity. So we know that time alone doesn't help. Well, similarly, maturity is also not a number, it's not an age. I'm sure We all have met people who are young at age, however, they display a level of maturity that is way beyond their years. But equally, I'm sure you've met people who are sort of mature in age, but at the same time, their level of maturity doesn't really offer a match. Yeah. So time and also age, these are not factors. So what else is needed? What actually leads to maturity? And I find that below sentence offers quite a good answer to it. And it goes like this. Whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. So let me say that again. It's a mouthful. Whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. Now, in short, what all that is saying is that trials or setbacks in life produces perseverance, and perseverance ultimately produces maturity. Okay, let me break it down a little bit further. What I'm saying is, what that sentence is saying is, I believe what it is saying is that when we go through trials and setbacks in life, these trials actually offer us an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to learn to be patient, to practice how to tackle difficult problems, the opportunity to train our ability to be resilient. And all of these will lead us to grow and to become more mature. Would you agree? Now, I'm certainly not asking all of us to go seek for sufferings and setbacks. I think that's just crazy. But what I am saying is, the next time, hopefully when you face certain trials or setbacks in life, hopefully we can all approach it in a different light. Now, while going through these setbacks and sufferings, it is certainly unpleasant. I will admit that. And when we face the different challenges, it is hard, for sure. But it is also a way, hopefully, that we can see that setbacks is a way of helping shape our character that ultimately will lead to maturity. And again, maturity is a key quality from my experience in observing all these years that many successful people have. Okay, so that's maturity, number one. So point number two is accountability. Again, the dictionary defines accountability in this way. It is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. So what this means is whatever I say or do, I need to be fully accountable and be ready for whatever consequences that may come my way. Yeah? And what does accountability have to do with careers and success? Everything. Many of you will remember 2008, the global financial crisis. In my opinion, one of the reasons that led to the GFC was in fact the lack of accountability. Back then, if you recall, financial institutions were selling highly profitable products that made them a lot of money. And while knowing that these products came with a huge risk, risking millions of people, their livelihoods, risking financial systems, and even worse, the entire global economy. But guess what? They continued to sell these products, obviously made a lot of money. In fact, they created more products and sold more of them made more money, and we all remember what the outcome was. So, I think accountability, as we all can hopefully all agree, even at the individual level, is hugely important. Because collectively, if everyone acts and behaves without a sense of accountability, it has significant ramifications that can bring down businesses, but also it can destroy societies. So how do we learn to be accountable and be accountable individuals? I believe accountability is learned from a young age, and therefore the responsibilities of parents, it is also the responsibilities of, I believe, our education system. Now, I don't know, because I've been out of school for a long time, but I wonder, a question I have is, are schools today teaching students how I define accountability. Are schools teaching the sense of accountability? I'm not sure. But as a young parent, I've got 2 kids. I certainly am trying my best, even though I fail on a daily basis, in teaching my kids accountability, and I help them face their own consequences. It's no easy task, and a lot of times it's difficult and challenging to see them fall and fail. But I do, and we do, me and my wife understand the importance of having them learn this skill at a young age. So accountability, that was my second point. That is an important thing to have, again, when we look at success and successful people in their careers. And the third point, final point, is coachability. Coachability, simply put, is one's receptiveness of receiving coaching and feedback. We're all human beings, and we're definitely not perfect, and we make mistakes. But our ability to humble ourselves to a certain extent, to a point where we can be open to other people's feedback, and therefore acknowledge how we can improve on things, I think is absolutely critical for anyone's success, and for business's success. And if collectively, every employee of an organization can be coachable in that sense, just imagine how powerful that can be. So this third point here, coachability, I believe is important. Now, in closing, I want to sum it all up. I talked about maturity, accountability, and coachability. These are all key success factors, I suppose. And the beauty of them all is that these are not skills that you need to study or learn. It actually is all about making the right choices. So what do I mean by that? The next time when you face the next time you face setbacks and trials, are you able to embrace it with positivity, or will you simply avoid it? Are you willing to take responsibility and face the consequences of your actions head on, or will you choose to behave irresponsibly? And are you able to humble yourself, admit mistakes, and be open to other people's feedbacks? Or will you simply close your eyes and miss the golden opportunity to grow and learn? The choice is 100% yours. So I hope this has been useful to you all, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Justin. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a 2-minute wrap-up. 2 minute, okay? I think some of you are hungry. I think Miss Glenn is hungry, right? Okay, now, I just want to pick up one point, just talk about education, okay? I'm big on education, but not mainstream education. I always call it the flip side of education. Okay, this is what STC is all about. And I keep telling you guys, too late already, you're all university students. But if you have young siblings, in grade school, primary, secondary, you tell your mom and dad, they don't necessarily have to go to university, do they? I think your mom and dad probably don't understand you. But you got to make them understand. What about VTC? What about Ivy, right? Babel, right? Haven, right? If you read my articles, I actually write a lot of articles in the South China Morning Post and post them. And lately I've been talking about VTC, 中小企, Hong Kong General Chamber of Small and Medium Business. I've been promoting 中小企 for the last 3-4 years. So what's wrong with being a hairdresser? What's wrong with being a hairdresser? What's wrong with being a car mechanic or pastry chef? I've known some people, okay, investment banker, top notch, they quit. They said, I'm done with banking. I'm going to go and make cupcakes and do it beautifully. They make lots of money now. As I said, I have to be very careful when I use the word money. I don't identify success, with money. Okay, but that's actually one of the measuring stick, isn't it? How much money you have in the bank. But if you do identify money with success, You don't necessarily have to be a medical doctor or lawyer or whatever. You look at Francis Wong sitting in the back there, and and Brian and Teresa, they're all in different industry. The insurance industry is also one of those that I've been promoting the last 4 years, right, Brian? You know that, right? It's not because I'm a good friend of MNC or Mark Tucker. Nothing to do with that. But that is a business. The insurance business is one of the most misunderstood businesses in the world. So I encourage you guys, when we're actually having something to eat and drink at the back there, talk to Francis, talk to Teresa, talk to Brian, and find out what they do. Okay? So you could maybe one day and just say, well, okay, maybe my mom and dad are wrong. I'm going to come out and do my own thing. Independent thinking is what you need. So tell your younger brothers and sisters, if you don't want to go to university, it's okay. Be a car mechanic, be a pastry chef, be a hairdresser, and one day you become your own boss. You're going to chains of these little businesses, right? And then you can define success in that way. All right, without further ado, I think Andrew want to come up and say 2 things, right? One is how to make it, and the other thing is how to display it.
Well, I don't really need a mic.
You don't need a mic, okay?
Can everyone hear me?
Speak loud,
I
yeah.
think I'll just speak here.
Okay. Now, we have a fun program tonight. You're in the midst of some tensions in the city. We have some fun program tonight.
Saying that we're so readily available in our backyard. So I make wreaths every year. I join different Christmas markets. This isn't my full-time job. I'm an interior designer. I work for Starbucks. But I just wanted to share with you all things that I just made this afternoon, and that I guess if you're passionate about something, that it could definitely turn into something really wonderful and very beautiful. It doesn't have to be something that you do as a career, but I definitely encourage everyone to find out what you love doing and just spend a little bit of time every week doing that. It really nourishes the soul, for sure.